Once considered one of the most iconic legends in Pokemon history, Lugia has often been overlooked in recent competitive metas. Despite its imposing presence and incredible lore as a guardian of the seas, Lugia has struggled to make waves in the fast-paced world of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's VGC Regulation G meta. But why is that? Is Lugia truly outdated, or is it just waiting for the right strategy to reclaim its throne? Today we're deep diving into Lugia's competitive potential and whether this legendary bird deserves a second chance at the current VGC meta. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Relicsongrickstar, the founder of AI Control Esports. We're here to help Pokemon players of all levels master the competitive scene. Whether you're here to geek out about VGC or discover some underrated Pokemon, I'm here to take you every step of the way. Let's take a closer look at Lugia, its strengths, weaknesses, and what it would take to make it a powerhouse of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let's get started. One of Lugia's biggest problems is its base special attack of just 90. For a legendary Pokemon, this is shockingly low and it struggles to hit as hard as some of the top tier threats in Regulation G. Pokemon like Fluttermane or even Calyrex Shadow, Chi-Yu, and Gholdengo can dish out massive damage in a single turn, while Lugia often requires multiple turns to even threaten a KO. In a fast-paced meta, that's a deal breaker. Despite its flying typing, granting immunity to ground moves, it leaves Lugia vulnerable to some of the most common offensive types in the meta: Electric, Dark, Rock, Ghost, and Ice. Pokemon like Regieleki, Qingpao, and Gholdengo can easily exploit these weaknesses, making it difficult for Lugia to stay on the field long enough to make an impact. The introduction of the Terrestrial mechanic in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has given many Pokemon a new lease on life, and Lugia is no exception. By carefully choosing its Terra type, Lugia can not only mitigate its weakness, but also amplify its strengths, making it a much more formidable threat in Regulation G meta. One of Lugia's standout strengths is its incredible bulk. With the whopping base 106 HP, 130 defense, and 154 special defense, Lugia is one of the tankiest Pokemon in the game. It can absorb hits from both physical and special attackers, making it a reliable anchor for your team. Even Pokemon like Miraidon struggle to KO Lugia in one hit. Lugia's incredible staying power isn't just about its bulk. It's also about its ability to heal up and outlast opponents. With access to reliable recovery moves such as Recover, and items like Leftovers, Lugia can shrug off any damage and keep itself healthy throughout the match. Lugia thrives in either defensive or supportive roles, making it the glue that holds the team together. With its incredible bulk and access to moves like Tailwind, Calm Mind, Whirlwind, and Recover, Lugia can control the flow of battle, set up advantageous positions for his teammates, and disrupt the opponent's strategy. It's not about Lugia doing all the damage, it's about Lugia creating the opportunities for his team to shine. Using Lugia effectively requires a shift in mindset. It's not the star of the show in terms of damage output, it's the director behind the scenes. Pairing Lugia with offensive threats can capitalize on its support, like setup sweepers or speed-reliant attackers, allows you to maximize its damage input. Lugia may not dominate with sheer power like other box art legendaries, but his true strength lies in the way it enables his team to succeed. With the right partners and strategy, Lugia transforms from a seemingly underwhelming choice into a pivotal piece of your game plan. It's proof that VGC isn't just about raw power, it's about synergy, strategy, and you're choosing your tools effectively. And I'm going to showcase a team that I put together where Lugia is the star of the show and it supports its allies. So let's hop right into it. Alright trainers, first up on this list we're going to go ahead and start with Lugia. It's the centerpiece of this team. It's equipped with Leftovers and its signature ability Multiscale. Multiscale, that's going to be able to reduce full damage when you're at max HP. So that's going to really help slow down opponents that try to come at you hyper offensively. Lugia is incredibly hard to take down. Its Terra Fairy type makes it resilient against Common Dragon and Dark type threats. It's also going to be able to shed its typing, which will allow it to be better defensive against Calyrex Shadow and Calyrex Ice. Just like I mentioned earlier in the video, Lugia isn't all about its power, so its moveset is going to be all about disruption and survival. The first move I want to focus on for Lugia is Whirlpool. Whirlpool is going to trap opponents, for 4 to 5 turns. It's also going to prevent them from switching out, which is really good because turn by turn, that damage is just going to slowly chip your opponents away. It's also going to be good for breaking sashes and just generally keeping your opponents at bay from them swapping out to bring in counters. Whirlwind's another move I want to focus on. Whirlwind focuses on forcing out setup sweepers. So Zamazenta, Terapagos, you can just Whirlwind and you don't have to worry about any of the Calm Mind or Iron Defense shenanigans. Next, we got Recover. Recover is just going to keep Lugia nice and healthy for the long game. Lugia relies on getting that multi-scale ability set back up, so if you can recover and get that leftovers recovery to top it off, you're going to be good to go. The last move is going to be Protect. Protect is just generally going to stall out turns, and it's going to allow the rest of the team to set up and capitalize on the opponent's discomfort. Lugia's role is to frustrate opponents while creating opportunities for its teammates to shine. Next up is Glimmora, the team's Hazard Master. With this focus sash to guarantee a connect and toxic debris to spread poison spikes upon being hit, Glimmora thrives in creating passive damage. Its moveset synergizes perfectly. Stealth Rock punishes switches and chips down flying and fire types. That's going to be really useful against all those pesky Incineroar that like to parting shot around. Mortal Spin is the most underrated move. It hits both opponents while poisoning them, and it also clears hazards from your side of the field. There is no reason not to run this move. It's also going to help with the overall team composition because turn by turn is just going to stack passive damage. Spiky Shield is going to be a really great move as well. It's going to offer protection while dealing chip damage. And lastly, we're going to have Earth Power. Earth Power is going to provide offensive coverage against Steel and Fire type Pokemon. That's going to be really good. So what we do here is we're going to give Glimmora the Ground Terror typing to maximize that damage output. Glimmora's presence pressures opponents into playing defensively, giving the team the upper hand and controlling the match tempo. Garganacl brings both durability and offense to the team with its Purifying Salt ability. It's going to protect it from status moves, and it's going to weaken ghost moves by 50%. The Moringa Berry gives it a Spadef boost when hit by special attacks, and its Ghost Terra typing adds another layer of unpredictability. Salt Cure is the star of the show, dealing residual damage every turn, especially punishing water and steel types. Wide Guard is going to be the most important move in this regulation. Wide Guard protects your teams from spread moves like Earthquake or Glacial Lance. Recover ensures Garganacl sticks around for the long haul, and Protect is going to aid in stalling turns and scouting moves. Garganacl's role is to wear down opponents while being an immovable wall. Gothitelle's Shadow Tag ability is a game changer, locking opponents in battle and preventing them from switching out. With the Mental Herb to shrug off Taunt, Gothitelle ensures it can always execute its role. Trick Room flips the speed dynamic, allowing slower Pokemon to take control. That's going to really help out this team here. And Taunt is going to be good to shut down opposing setup strategies, so use it whenever you see a Terapagos. Please, trust me on this. Psyshock is going to give Gothitelle some offensive presence. That's going to be really good into the Urshifu waters. And Protect is just going to keep it safe while locking down the field. Gothitelle is the ultimate supporter, enabling the rest of the squad to function optimally while frustrating your opponent's plans. Get in their head, that's the true way to win. Screamtail brings a terrifying win condition to the team with Perish Song. Equipped with boost energy, it activates photosynthesis for the boosted speed, allowing it to outspeed threats and disrupt strategies. Perish Song sets a timer on the match, forcing opponents to either KO your Pokemon or get trapped. Encore and Disable are going to lock opponents into useless moves, creating opportunities. Protect is going to be great for stalling out turns to let Perish Trap work. And, honestly, Screamtail is just the team's trump card. It brings control and a ticking clock that puts immense pressure on your opponents. Finally, Rillaboom rounds out the team with Grassy Surge, setting up grassy terrain to heal your Pokemon and boost Grassy Glide. Its Assault Vest adds bulk, allowing it to take hits while dishing out damage. Grassy Glide is going to be a strong priority move. It's just so good because you're able to do damage and you're going to get the terrain boost as well. Fake Out's going to be really good in disrupting opponents on critical turns, and it's going to also lend into our secondary Perish Trap mode. U-Turn is going to allow Rillaboom to pivot out and keep the momentum for the team. It allows you to safely get in on opposing Pokemon that's a little slower. High horsepower is going to provide additional coverage against rock and steel type Pokemon. Overall, Rillaboom provides utility, power, and terrain control, tying the team together beautifully. And there you have it. This is a Lugia Parish Trap team with the perfect blend of control, disruption, and endurance. Each Pokemon plays a vital role, from Lugia's unyielding battlefield presence to Screamtail's game-ending melodies. Whether it's Glimmora punishing physical attackers, Garganacl shielding your team with Wide Guard, or Gothitelle trapping opponents with no escape, this team thrives on forcing your opponent to play your game. It's a strategy that keeps your opponents on their toes, punishing over-aggression while patiently building toward victory. With careful planning and precise execution, this team has the tools to dominate Regulation G battles and leave your opponents in awe and utter frustration. You guys wouldn't believe how many people on Showdown just completely rage quit against me. So, are you ready to take this team for a spin? Mastering it takes practice, but the payoff is undeniable. Adapt, disrupt, and outlast. This team is designed to control the battle from start to finish. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more competitive Pokemon content. Share your thoughts. What would you change, and how would you use this team in your battles? Until next time, trainers, keep strategizing, and may your next match be a victory.